are watching Supa TV, Open View, channel 150.
Hello and welcome to Mo Sports. Yes, you are at the right place, you are on the right channel, and you are watching the right show. I've been thinking about something of late, something that I think I want to share with the people at home. Have you ever considered how life would be if everybody lived life like a footballer? Have you ever thought about it? Like, imagine you go call center, or a star call center agent. Understand the transfer rumors, me and OB sitting like this discussing him. Look at how he just picks up the phone. Look at how he says hello. The technique in that hello. Imagine life was like that, Obi knows. A pitch invader running into the call center, going to hug him there. You know what I mean? Have you never thought of such things?
No.
Transfer rumors about him leaving insurance, going to budget.
Never thought about it like that.
Saying that call was offside. You skipped a phone call.
Never thought about it like that, bro. You crazy.
But think about the postman. Every time he puts a mail in your house, they runs to the corner and go celebrate. The other postmen show up too. Welcome to the show. The name of the show is Mo Sports. I'm Mo and this is OB.KNOWS, and we are discussing all things football. Now, let's take it to the Mo riddle. Let me remind you that if you want to submit your answer to the Mo riddle, it's as simple as saving the following number. It's 071-621-4746. The Mo riddle reads like this as follows. I think it's like 3 days in a row we've had just Brazilians.
Yeah.
So this one says, my career started in 1998 when I joined Ponte Preta. I then moved to Rennes, Sao Paulo, Porto, Sevilla, just to name a few. I made 45 appearances for my national side, Brazil, scored over 20 goals for them, and won the Copa America and the coveted Confederation Cup here in South Africa. If you know who he is, the number is 071-621-4746. If you need another clue, he was that guy who was playing with the what you call it, the polo neck in South Africa. If you look at the Brazilian squad, the guy with the polo neck, that's him. So if you have the answer, make sure to do so. And don't forget to SMS Supa TV to 30978. Obi knows how you doing today.
I'm good, thanks for yourself, Mo.
I'm good. So you don't want us to celebrate you, bro. You don't want a pitch invader to come in right now and hug you.
Boy, they can come. It's COVID times. Stay there.
Just stay there.
Bluetooth hack.
I think it would be so great. Imagine a transfer center just for people, for accountants, lawyers, cleaning ladies.
Think too much. You imagine too much.
Like, Mama,
you couldn't even imagine a corrupt South Africa the other day. Now you're talking about other things, man.
Nah, but that's a deep one, dude. I was thinking about it. I was like, just imagine he's mopping, then a pitch invader comes to hug him while he's mopping. Then we're all there in the stands. Imagine those stands where you're mopping there with the stands. We're all watching you mop. Look at that stroke. Obi knows, what should we expect on today's show?
Well, on today's show, not a lot about mopping and not about football transfer, what, that's most talking about. But we'll be talking about what has been going on. It has been a whole week of football. We didn't get a chance to catch up on Wednesday, so we have this whole first segment to catch up on what's been going on in the world of football. We'll also be taking a look at the Copa America. It is the final that is beckoning upon us. Well, Brazil and Argentina in that final. We'll also be talking about the big one. Of course, it is the Euro 2020 that we'll be talking about later on Mo Sports. But we kick it off with the first headline of the day, and it goes to Orlando Pirates fans. Of course, if you are an Orlando Pirates fan, and in fact, if you are an avid follower of the PSL, you will know of the transfer that Orlando Pirates made, bringing in defender Kwanda Ngwenyama from Maritzburg United, and he joins Orlando Pirates. He joined Orlando Pirates a couple of days ago. He started already. Yesterday was his first training session. We got a couple of pictures of him enjoying the run out with his teammates, and it's a good move for Orlando Pirates. Firstly, I mean, they needed to fix it at the back. I didn't think they would have went for Kwanda Ngwenyama first and foremost, but they went for him. I thought maybe, they might go for Buhlem Khwanazi, someone who's already played next to Tyson, and Tyson didn't have the greatest of seasons, although Orlando Pirates, the fans actually saying, do we need a defender because, we the second best defense in the league? And I'm like, but you guys, the goals you conceded were not, they're funny goals, not goals you should be conceding. So you need to be more, secured at the back. And I thought maybe Buhlem Khwanazi would have been a much better option, but indeed they did sign Kwanda Ngwenyama from Maritzburg United.
It seems like all the transfer windows since COVID started, Pirates are signing a defender. Yeah. They signed Halatwayo last season. So don't you think that this was an unnecessary signing? Or do you think that the defense really does need some bolstering? And with him coming in, what happens to the centre-backs that are already there?
Look, there's already Nyauza in there. There's already Happy Jellos in there, the captain of the club, who hasn't been playing quite a lot of games for Orlando Pirates. So it'll be very interesting to see where those, he's captaining them from the bench, you know what I'm saying? So It will be very interesting to see who falls out now, who is going to get sold. Will they even sell a player, or will they keep, all their options open? Maybe Zimbabwe might just, revert to playing with wing backs once again, so you just never know, put together a back three, so you just never know what the plans are. But I just didn't think that Kwana Gwenyama was the correct choice to bring at Orlando Pirates.
Or what might be a right choice is Chippa United signing not a player, but a manager, and in the likes of Gavin Hunt. So Gavin is on the hunt again, OB.KNOWS. Do you think it's a greener pastures for him to be going hunting, or do you think that it's a bad move from him?
Well, firstly, of course, the question would be, why so soon? He just, lost his job at Kaizer Chiefs. But so many managers are moving on already. I mean, you look at Jose Mourinho, he's moved on from, Spurs. He's going to Roma. So why should Gavin Hunt wait? I don't think he suffered quite a lot in terms of his reputation at Kaizer Chiefs, although a lot of people don't see him as the same coach anymore. I heard a lot of people saying that he's an underachiever of a coach, and I think personally, for a coach who has coached so many teams that needed that didn't have star players, teams that were very low on budget. He coached Morocco Swallows, for crying out loud. He coached Supa Sports United in its days when they didn't have the biggest budgets ever, and he managed to make a success out of all those teams. So to say that he's an underachiever is an overstatement. It's not even something that we should be saying. So I'm actually impressed that he's not letting this Kaizer Chiefs failure weigh him down. It's very good to see him stepping back into what he knows best, which is dealing with the smaller clubs that don't have a lot of potential. I mean, that have a lot of potential but don't have a lot of quality in them.
Yeah.
So I do think that the move to Chippa United might, if they give him time on top of that, they need to give him time. Then he can probably make something happen. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
I think they brought him in quickly so they can get him into the transfer window and get him active. But let's move on, because there's a total makeover at Marumo Kalans. So Marumo Kalans, for those of you that don't know, OB.KNOWS, we don't know. What is Marumo Kalans and where are they based? Which a club from where?
Marumo Kalans are a club, but then I will say
former name.
Former name is TTM. You know what I'm saying? So they are moved from Limpopo, not Limpopo rather, but from Venda to Polokwane, and of course it's because the owner of the team now, the ownership changed mid-season last season. Mr. Aubrey. Sillo. Yes. Sillo.
When it comes to that team, just remember that it's
Dr. Sillo. Yes, Dr. Sillo. So yeah, look, Dr. Sillo took over at the club, and of course, ever since then, the team has played some of their home games in Polokwane. But right now, this season, it looks like they're moving the whole base that side. And not only did they change names, they letting go of some important players. Saborachale being one of them. He's already been unveiled at the Sekhukhune United. They've also lost Diamond Topola, Mohakulo Ringel, and Tukelo Ranti as well. Players that pretty much big names.
Sekhukhune United is still embroiled in this whole court case, but they're now making some key signings for the PSL. People that are seasoned, that have been doing this for a very long time, maybe might win you an MTN 8 or something like that. They're already making those kind of signings.
Yeah, they're making the moves. I mean, we did say that they're already looking at the Thabo Senong coming in, and he's going to come in as an assistant coach.
Really?
He's already been said to be an assistant coach at the club. So a lot is going on, at Sekhukhune. They are literally preparing for the PSL. So I don't think they would let go of a court case if it was said that they have to go back to the NFD. They will definitely fight it. They will not go back. They will not go back into the NFD. Not like that.
All right, let's talk about Zambia having two players in the Premier League. OB.KNOWS, give us more about who they are, where they're playing, and how they got to the Premier League.
Petson Daka. We spoke about Petson Daka. He signed for Leicester City last week. And what's more surprising, in fact, I don't think there's ever been a time when an African nation had two of its best players, up front, or strikers. Okay, we had Chelsea with Solomon Kalou and Drogba, but these are two main strikers up front. We're talking about Petson Daka and Ngwebu, who's joining us Southampton as well. So two big signings, for the Zambian national team. The Zambian nation should be proud of this because, looking at
public holiday and everything.
You know what I'm saying? They should have everything, everything. Looking at the fact that the last most notable striker for Zambia was the likes of Chris Katongo, who went on to play in Italy. But I think at this point we're looking at a renaissance of Zambian football. I mean, yes, most recently they did with, I think it was 2012 when they won the AFCON. So it was the first out of hopefully many for them. And I think with two strikers who are playing at the highest level of the game, they've got something going right now, the Zambian national team. So we'll hope to see a bit more impetus when they are playing for the national team as well.
All right, so if you have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or just have a phone altogether, at this point, you know very well that Sergio Ramos didn't go to Arsenal, didn't go to Manchester City. In fact, he snubbed both those clubs and he moved on and he went to PSG. Now, Obi knows I've seen the unveiling of him with a jersey. I saw him wearing a Cox there. Is he a PSG player?
Is he a PSG player? Definitely he is. He is signed until 2024. That's a big one, if you ask me. He wanted a 2-year deal from Real Madrid. They didn't give him that, and I think the security of knowing that his family, because his main point was where's his family going to be for the next 2 years. At least so he can be able to plan or whatever the reason might be for him wanting that 2-year. PSG have been able to give him 2023. It is. So we'll have to wait and see how he fits into the team. But definitely he's a starter already. You don't even need to question it. I do think that he'll be playing a very crucial role for that PSG team. I mean, they've brought in a fresh defense. I mean, a new goalkeeper coming in, a new right back coming in, a new centre back coming in. They're closing up shop at the back, and hopefully they'll be looking to maintain their players up front, mainly Kylian Mbappe. Of course, Neymar's already penned down a new deal, so they'll be looking to keep up and keep growing the quality of the squad as the time goes.
Because what I find ironic about this whole Sergio Ramos chat now, apparently Arsenal went there, made an offer, and he was like, where's your Champions League football? And based on that fact is why he went to PSG. So we could have seen Sergio Ramos in the Premier League if Arsenal were playing Champions League football, but it is a different time, a different era. Obi knows, let's talk about Atletico Madrid women's team signing a Banyana star. Who is she? How did she get there? Are we excited? I'm over the moon about it.
I mean, it came as a surprise earlier on this week. Tembi Khatlani, of course, the number 11 for the national team, and she's been brilliant, for the national team itself. But, all that brilliance had to lead to a big move, and she moved to Eibar, Spanish. In fact, before she moved to Eibar, she played for Benfica. She played for Benfica, and after that, Eibar came calling in Spain. And, of course, brilliant performances and rewarding, her with a move to Atletico Madrid. And this is just a week after she released her book. I actually saw the book. It's released in this exclusive books. You can actually find it. That is actually the book cover of the book. But, she's had a brilliant year if you're looking at it, from a footballing perspective. I mean, from a brand perspective, it's a much better year for the fact that she has jumped from, being just a normal South African, football player, struggling. We've heard about the chats with some of the South African women footballers. They're saying that they can't really, create a life for themselves from earning the peanuts that they're earning. So for her to be making such big strides as well, in a big league. I mean, we already have Jane who's playing in AC Milan. So right now we're looking at two big players for Banyana who are playing in big clubs. So it's very good for the growth of women's football in SA.
All right, we're almost done with the news, but if we wouldn't have gotten anywhere with the news if we didn't talk about this. Now, everybody knows Richarlison. Everybody knows that Richarlison went from Watford, went to Everton with his coach, Marco Silva at the time. And Marco Silva is a big fan of Richarlison. You'd have never thought that Carlo Ancelotti is also a fan of Richarlison. He's also saying that if I'm going to Madrid, which he has, he's taking Richarlison with him. And I looked at some of Richarlison's number. Obi knows he is the 44th top goal scorer in the Premier League last season. 44th. But in terms of shots taken, he's sitting at 11th. So he's quite impressive in terms of what he can possibly do. The potential is quite high, and as you can see, Brazil picked him to go to the Copa America, so that says a lot about the player.
I don't know, man. I mean, I've been watching Richarlison for quite some time. I feel like there's something that's always been missing in his game,
It's Real Madrid.
I don't know if Real Madrid is what's missing. I don't know if Real Madrid is where you need to go to up your game. I think before you go to Real Madrid, your game needs to be, looking like, it's worth taking to Real Madrid.
Galactic.
And for me, he's not a galactic level. He's not a player who's maybe, looking at who they have at Real Madrid, Vinicius, maybe he can start over Vinicius, But, come on, Doug. Real Madrid, Richarlison. What's Carlo Ancelotti playing at? Carlo Ancelotti, he's going back to Real Madrid team, of course, that are very low in funds. They're looking to, get bargains everywhere. But Richarlison.
You know what killed me the most? He took James Rodriguez and he took him to Everton. He's going to Real Madrid and he's taking Richarlison with him. It's like come and win at least.
That happens. I mean, he did the same thing. He when he joined Real Madrid, he wanted to go fetch the Kakas. So the players he's worked with. So I guess he's that coach who wants to get players that
I'm not done with this player.
He wants to work with the players that he knows. So we'll have to wait and see. What actually happens with this news. But I would not be impressed if Richarlison had to move to Real Madrid. It would be a bad side.
All right, let's talk about the 17-year-old that just signed for Liverpool. I know that last season or 2 seasons back in 2019, Liverpool signed a 17-year-old or 16-year-old by the name Van der Sap. And everybody was like, oh, you guys signing a 16-year-old? But let's talk about this young man. OB.KNOWS. I'm not quite sure if I'm pronouncing this boy's name correctly. This boy is a Liverpool legend before he even kicks a ball for Liverpool. The reason why is this boy was the ball boy that threw the ball to Trent Alexander-Arnold.
You lie.
When Trent Alexander-Arnold took the corner that led to Liverpool winning the Champions League.
You lie.
Think about it. He was 14 at the time. It's been 3 seasons, and now this boy is going to be playing for Liverpool now that he signed his first professional contract at the age of 17. Now, this breeds a long history of players going from being ball boys to playing professional football. You're talking about Mason Mount. You're talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold himself. All these boys have been seen on the side of the pitch, and here comes another one coming down the line. So he's already a Liverpool legend. He already has the histories behind him. Key pass in the Champions League match against Barcelona.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So that young man is the man who signed a professional contract with Liverpool. I just thought that would be some interesting news for the people at home. Let's move on and let's go talk about what's happening in Egyptian Premier League. Hi, OB.KNOWS. When it comes to the Egyptian Premier League, I need to talk to you about this because I don't know what's going on with the Ahli. Are they coming? Are they going? Are they chasing? Are they too far? Will they never reach it?
They're pulling up. They're coming through. They're looking good. The last 2 games were 2 wins. Of course, the last 3 there was a draw, in there. But they're doing good so far. I mean, of course, we did say that they're chasing a goal, which means that they can't draw any other game from now until they've covered the amount of games which they have in hand. I think they've got now 6 games in hand at this point. And they can't lose or draw any of those games because once they drop points, already they're behind Zamalek, So it's very important for them to keep up where they're at. And for the fact that, I think Pito was probably shaken yesterday with yesterday's performance. They played fairly good, but they only got the goals towards the latter stages, the last 15 minutes of the game. So I think Pito will be very concerned about that. They couldn't bury the game very much earlier. And of course, with Kaizer Chiefs coming up as well, the confidence of the players needs to be peak high. So I'm pretty sure Pito Musiman will be a bit concerned with the performance yesterday. But for the fact that they managed to show up and get those goals in clutch minutes, in the last minutes of the game, I think he'll be pleased with that.
All right, so let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Cosafa Cup, and then later on, we'll go into the website and check out how the Egyptian Premier League is standing at this moment. We'll see you right after this.
You are watching Supa TV, Open View, channel 150.
How to register a new SuperBets account. SMS Supa TV to 30978 and you will receive an SMS with a sign-up link. Click the link you receive, which will direct you to the SuperBets mobile site. Click login. On the pop-up, click register now. Fill in the required details on the form, from your ID number all the way to your contact details. Be sure to choose a strong password that you will remember. After filling in your details, click submit. In a few minutes, you should receive an OTP if your details were entered correctly. Back onto the SuperBets mobile site, type in your OTP. In a few seconds, you will receive a welcome SMS confirming your new account. A 50 Rand sign-up bonus will reflect in your account within 24 hours of your sign-up. Welcome to our family. SuperBets, bet with the biggest.
Supa winning ticket. Now ungapopa with SuperBets. Simply SMS Supa TV to 30978 and start playing.
You are watching Supa TV, Open View, channel 150.
Welcome back to Mo Sports. Yes, you are at the right place at the right time to talk all things football. This is channel 150 on your Open View decoder. It's Supa TV powered by SuperBets. If you don't own an Open View decoder and you can't watch us, don't despair. There's still Facebook, there's still YouTube. All you need to do is go on those platforms, search for Supa TV. Once you find us, you can live stream the show at any given time. Now, let me give you the more riddle because I want to see just how well you know your football. In fact, if there's any answers, let's just see them on the screen real quick. Do you think maybe it's too soon?
Answers. This is what they're saying.
Nah, maybe we should leave it to the bottom of the hour. Maybe we'll see if they've submitted the answers now. But let's see them all real quickly. Let's remind you. Then bottom of the hour, we'll then check if anyone has submitted their answers. So this is how it goes. My career started in 1998 when I joined Ponte Preta. I then moved to Rennes, Sao Paulo, Porto, Sevilla, to name a few. I made 45 appearances for Brazil, scoring 28 goals, winning the Copa America and the FIFA Confederations Cup here in South Africa in our very own backyard. Like I said, if you're not quite sure who it was, guys, it can only be one man. It can only be one man. And if you want to submit your answer, the number is 071 621 4746.
I have a thing. What do you call it? Yeah.
Yeah, give the people at home a clue.
It looks like Chris Brown.
Nah, that's too much, bro.
What do you
That's
mean?
Too much. You could have just said he's your twin.
So they're going to say, man?
I'm kidding. Why are you saying the boy looks like Chris Brown?
Because he does look like Chris Brown, dog. You look at him, and you look at Chris Brown back in the day when he was doing that. This, kiss, that time. That's the same Chris Brown, the chubby one, the one who could dance.
So you're saying,
he still can dance,
so
but
you're
like
saying
the chubby Chris Brown.
So you're saying he looks young. That was babyface Chris Brown.
Yeah, well, he looked babyface at the time. He was like 30.
Back when T-Pain was the radio guy.
Oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Taking us back. We're here to talk about football, you know.
Yeah,
We're not here to talk about Chris Brown and
Look at Josh.
yeah, you can't be doing those things. Let's carry on. Let's talk about what's happening. Let's start off with the Cosafa Cup. Now, the Cosafa Cup has been in action. A lot of people don't quite know what the Cosafa Cup is, how it's working. They're shocked to see Bafana Bafana play. My mom was watching the news the other day. They're like, Bafana Bafana won narrowly against Eswatini. My mom was like, Bafana Dal.
You see, that's the same question like a lot of people would ask when they seen the Bafana Bafana play, you know,
Yeah.
because the names are completely different. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
Velimo was the captain of the team, you know,
Yeah.
so when you're looking at it, you're like,
what's
who are these guys? You know what I'm saying? So we wouldn't be surprised that your mom said that. But, you know, Bafana Bafana, of course, 2 games so far in the Cosafa Cup, 2 wins. Positive, nothing much you could write about, 1-0 wins. So, you know, Cosafa is always that, there's no chemistry between most of these teams because they're picking out players that aren't really the main players in the national teams. So, you know, of course, you're not going to have an eventful tournament because the players don't have cohesion among each other, you know. So not a lot of combination plays going to be happening. You know, it's going to be quite some individual brilliances taking place here and there. But I could say that, you know, for the fact that we're getting the results, it's positive. You know, it's positive that Bafana Bafana are getting results. We'll have to wait and see what happens, you know, once they reach the latter stages of the tournament. But all I'm saying is, if they win Cosafa, these boys, we should be as hyped as England have been hyped about it's coming home. We should also give, you know, Bafana Bafana some hype, dog.
But you see, it's England.
We don't care about England.
And England is having a guys.
We should go crazy.
England is having a freakish term in terms of sports right now. The British and Irish Lions come to South Africa and dominate like this.
Yeah, no.
Like this is unprecedented. I think
tough.
you know what the problem is. I'm gonna deviate and talk about rugby for a second. It's because the stadiums are not packed.
I think so.
And it's also because that no one is drinking Castle right now. Because Castle is the main ingredient in beating the British and Irish Lions. Every time Castle was like, we were beating them. No Castle, no wins. But we know these guys beat the Sharks.
Yeah, they demolished the Sharks. Please say they demolished.
The Lions.
Please say they demolished.
Okay, they demolished the Sharks, but do you see what they did with the Lions as well?
They demolished them as well.
I'm scared for the Bucks, bro. That's why the Bucks are in quarantine. They're like, it's
bad.
It's bad, dude.
It's terrible, yeah.
I'm like, the British and Irish Lions.
It's crazy now. They're going to play them back to back with the game that was cancelled due to COVID. Of course, the Bulls were supposed to play them this weekend. But COVID struck, you know, most of the Bulls players in the squad. So now the Sharks are going in again.
You know the principle of the British and Irish Lions is just a barbarian side.
Yeah.
Which basically in rugby means that when we used to go on tour and we played rugby as young men, we would have a barbarian side. So basically the coaches would then stand there, just I'm big. I'm taking this boy, I'm taking that boy and that boy from different teams. Then make a barbarian side and those boys will play everybody else. Yeah. So let's not talk about rugby. Let's talk about South African football. All we know is that the man on the bench that doesn't rub you the right way that he's on the bench.
I'm not rubbed the wrong way. Morena Ramoreboli. That's the caretaker coach of Bafana Bafana at this present moment. That's the man right there on your screens. So he's in charge, of course, because we all know Helmut Nkelele was in charge of the first two games under Hugo Broos' tenure. Yeah. And Hugo Broos, since he left the country and went to go get his second COVID-19 jab in Belgium, he's not returned. He's not returned ever since then. The assistant coach that he came with as well also caught COVID, so Helmut Nkelele had to sit alone on the bench for the first 2 games. And coming into the Cosafa, of course, he selected the squad, but he also caught COVID, and then, of course, course, we had to find someone else to come and sit there. And Morena has done a decent job. I mean, getting 2 wins, of course, with the national team is something that is positive for his CV as well. So hopefully a lot of teams will be taking a look at him. Possibly, if he is available for a bigger move, then something could open for him just from the performance that he has given and shown in the Cosafa Cup with the national team.
So, do you think we should go show the people on the website how it's looking in the Cosafa Cup? We should definitely do so. Don't forget to SMS Super TV to 30978. And this is how the Super Bets website looks. Let's go. So, Masfiga, as you can see, there they are, the British and Irish Lions. It's the first time any Lion ever from England has done this much. But let's carry on. Let's go to match info. I'm shocked, eh? I'm looking at these results. I'm like, no, maybe someone is playing FIFA here. Like, the 3 Lions are in the Euro finals. The British and Irish Lions that dominate South Africa. The Queen must be over the hills right now.
No, the Queen can't help.
She must be like, I'm killing them now. She's drinking high tea at low times. As you can see, South Africa there, 2 wins. They've only conceded no goals. They've scored 2 goals, which is quite impressive for a South African side going into a tournament. I mean, it's been a while since we got treated to 2 clean sheets and 2 1-0 wins. It's been a while, nobody knows. It's been so long. I feel like we should celebrate this. We should screen one sheet, keep it for future reference. Just to say, but we won. As you can see, the group of Eswatini, Lesotho, Zambia, Botswana is not working out for 2 of those sides because Eswatini have 3 points, Lesotho have 3 points, and then Zambia and Botswana both have failed to win their first games. Let's go down to the next group, OB.KNOWS. As you can see in this group, quite some funny things going on. Namibia played only 1 game while Zimbabwe only played 2 games. But against who? Because everybody else is in on 1 game played and Zambia is on no game played. So let's grow up. Didn't we see Zambia in Group A? No, yes, we did. So there's Zambia in Group A and in Group B, so we need to go investigate what's going on here. But don't forget, if you also want to join us on the website, SMS Super TV to 30978. OB.KNOWS, put the website away, let's talk about the Copa America. Hey, Buffett, do you guys realize that Argentina is in the final? Do you realize that?
I see it.
All these chats about Messi not winning an international trophy might come to an end.
It might, but I'm still saying it's not coming to an end. I've been saying that, I counted these guys out a very long time ago. I thought that the team that might just get here would be Uruguay, and surprisingly enough, they managed to beat Uruguay themselves. So, look, Argentina, I guess one thing we can say about South America or Copa America itself is that there's not quite a lot of competition for both these sides. Yeah. Not a lot of competition. I mean, we're looking, for example, I did say that Colombia didn't look all too great because they didn't have James Rodriguez giving that, creative role, but they still managed to get, into the semifinals. So, those type of things show you that there's not a lot of competition in that area of the world, but you still need to do your work to be able to get to the finals, and kudos to both teams for doing so.
I think maybe the Copa America should start adopting barbarian sides. I mean, look, let's be honest here. If you would have a tournament where you have 10 teams and 2 groups, right? 10 teams, 2 groups. That means 5 teams per group. And only 1 team in the group stage, or either group is going to get knocked out in the group stages. It's not enough competition. I can lose all my games and just have a better goal difference and make it to the next stage, which means I'm going to automatically lose again. Which for me is like, but you know what I mean? It's like, let me show you on the website. Let's go look at it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go start first by the tables. What I'm saying is, as you can see, Group A, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Chile, Bolivia, sadly drawn in this group. They sit 5th. That means they're knocked out. This group then has all the big names, and then you look at Group B, Brazil, Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, Venezuela. Looking at how easy it is for you to make it through. I mean, Ecuador made it in with 3 points. 3 points. They didn't win a game. But they made it into the knockout phases of the competition. So I think that this group setup is affecting the quality of the tournament. Because if Ecuador already lost in the group stage, let's go look at their path of how it went from here. So we'll go click on there, let's go look at their last matches and see how it ended with the group stages. So they finished in the group stages, then they went out to the knockout phases. And as you can see, their quarterfinals, they got beat by Argentina 3-0. So that tells you a lot about the state of the tournament, because you get drawn against Argentina. Argentina know that this is an easy draw for them. They're just going to go in there, beat you, because already you haven't won a game in the entire tournament, which is affecting quite badly the quality of the tournament. Let's go to Argentina. Let's click on them there. It's possible. Let's scroll down. Oh, now we're clicking on the match. Let's go to teams. Let's just go to teams. Let's go to Argentina. Now let's scroll down to the team. Let's go look at the team that they have here, Don't worry about their previous matches. Look at the possible squad that they could put together. because we want to get lost in this thing. So this is a possible squad that this team can put together. We're talking about the likes of Lionel Messi, Lautaro Martinez. I mean, this man is on form in this tournament alone. No, let alone, don't talk about what he's been doing domestically at club level. In the tournament alone, this man is on fire. You're talking about a Di Maria, Paredes, De Paul. Like, this team has a lot of big names, and looking at that goalkeeper right there, that man is quite essential to what this team has been able to put together. That's Emiliano Martinez, because he's been exceptional for them, including stopping a penalty, having Messi come crying. 3 penalties. So let's put the website away. Let's talk about this thing, OB.KNOWS. First of all, let's address the situation with the tournament itself. 2 groups, 5 teams each group. Only 1 team can get eliminated from each group. Don't you think that maybe at this point in time they should make a barbarian side, say maybe Brazil B, Argentina B, see what happens?
To be fair to Copa America, I mean, we did say that one thing they do is it's a 12-team tournament. So there was 2 teams that they usually invite 2 teams.
Australia, Japan,
from Asia. 2 teams would come from Asia, and of course, right now it changed because the teams from Asia decided not to travel due to COVID-19. So yeah, that's the only difference. So I guess a six pool table, 2 6-pool tables is not all too great, for competition. Maybe you should numb it down to 3. Maybe you have 3 teams, in each table, and the top winners of the top 4. Then it's semi-finals. There could be a better way to create a better structure for the tournament. I think that's the only difference that could be made. Just add more structure to this tournament, because it seems like it's not so well thought through. Just let's have teams in this group, separate them in half, and the bottom team, the last team, is the only team that goes out. Then what was the point for the group stages then? We could have just made it a knockout once.
Because, my gosh, if it's simple for you to then pick the final at the start of the tournament.
Exactly.
You're like Brazil Group A, Argentina Group B, your time.
Exactly.
You can even do it according to alphabet, say A for Argentina, B for Brazil. But at the end of the day, these guys are going to win the groups as they did. They're going to face the worst team in the other group, and then they're going to go through and win. Yeah. And then you're looking at just a rise to the final that has no competition whatsoever. And that's exactly what we saw.
And this is the semi-final of the last installment of this tournament. And if you look at Brazil in the semi-final, they played against Argentina, winning 2-0. And who they faced in the final? Peru, a team they already beat like 4-0 in the opening fixture. So You see what I'm saying? Like, there's not a lot of competition in this tournament, and for you to not win it, for Messi to have won it over these years, it's very disappointing for him to have not have won it all these years. And for him to do it now, I think would be spectacular for him and his Argentine side. Looking at the quality that Brazil side have, I'd be very shocked if they manage to get anything over Brazil.
All right, let's take a break before we shock you any further. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation by looking at the Euro 2020. Maybe we'll also dive back into the Copa just to get our Motafus, let loose.
You are watching Supa TV, Open View, channel 150.
You probably SMS Supa TV to 308. You can also score big by simply SMSing Supa TV to 30978.
You are watching Supa TV, Open View, channel 150.
Welcome back to Mo Sports. If you're just joining us, you missed out on the bulk of the conversation. We talked about the news, we talked about what's happening in Egyptian football, and we also talked about what's happening in South America with the Copa America. Now, let me remind you of the Mo riddle, and then we'll see who has submitted their answers and whose answers are correct. So let's see, basically, right now. The Mo riddle goes as follows. This is how it reads. Well, basically, he's a Brazilian international. He made over 40 appearances for the national side, scored over 20 goals for them, and he played for a whole host of clubs. He played for Sao Paulo, he's played everywhere. But the most important thing is that he won the Confederations Cup in 2009, and he also won the Copa America with Brazil. If you have the answer, well, the number is 071-621-4746. So now let's see who thinks they have the right answer at this moment in time. Let's look up and see who our viewers are that have submitted the answers. Who knows, I'm very scared. I might see a Hulk again. Hi guys, it's Rual Jimenez, Ryan from Zim. Ryan. I'm poor but not the worst, but he's very lost, even wrong country. I think Rual Jimenez is Mexican if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's Mexican. He's from Mexico.
Yeah, no, he's very he's lost.
He's lost.
He's talking about guys, this man is retired. I mean, if you know your Brazilian football, he is retired. But he did retire just recently. I mean, he just turned 40 this year. Funny enough, he's born 2 days. He's born on the 8th of November. So my birthday is on the 10th of November.
But you said 2 days.
I was going to say 2 days before I was born, but I was like, he was born in the 1980s.
But how many birthdays you got, dog?
I only have one birthday, my boy.
This guy's been celebrating birthdays since Jan, dog. Like at some point you said, no, my birthday's in Feb. I was like, oh, okay.
Then I moved it again.
Why do you move your birthdays?
So let me tell you, when you move your birthday,
no, this is a real thing. I think people think I'm joking here. This guy literally moves. No one in the office knows his exact birthday, despite the person who signed his contract. This is the only no one.
Let's talk about the Euro 2020. That's why we're here. We're not here to talk about people's birthdays. We're here to talk about what's happening. Finally, the final has been decided here in the Euro 2020, and I'm shocked. Everybody is exceptionally shocked to find that the three Lions have made their way to the final. Now, funny enough, since the year 1966, Obino, 66. You know how long that's a wait? That's a long wait.
My guy, you had to watch South Africa lift the AFCON, my guy. You get it? Clive Parker had to run around there by the FNP Stadium, then Mandela to lift the trophy point. England still nothing.
You saw apartheid start and end.
Did it? Nah, you lie.
No, but it started in the 40s. But the point is, you saw the mid-apartheid until the end.
You know what I'm saying? It's too much. I mean, it's been a very long wait. It's been a very, very long wait. And like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to... I'd give credit to the English supporters. You know, never mind the English media. I feel like the supporters have really been supporting this team even through the worst of times. I mean, they've had the quality players. We've been saying it. And they've been dramatically knocked out of so many tournaments. I mean, you're looking at the 2010 World Cup with that goal by Frank Lampard that was scored but not given. In Bloemfontein, it's one of those examples. I mean, they've not had terrible squads. It's just a lot of unlucky moments. A whole lot of them. And I think the fans have stood behind their team. That's what I'm saying. If Bafana win Cosafa, let's give them that support. Let's make them feel that they're playing for a national team, that they've got the responsibility of so many people in the nation. So I do think that we have to give credit to the fans of English football for creating this whole vibe of it's coming home. I mean, everyone around the world is saying it's coming home. I mean, now the slogan is it coming home or going to Rome? And it's all because of that fandom that was created by the fans. So I do think we need to give credit where it's due to the English supporters as well.
All right, let's start this conversation with Italy now. They have the other team in this final. They had to go through Spain. Now, everybody says that Italy had a tough route to this final. I mean, they faced Spain, and they not only faced Spain, they faced the Spain that just wouldn't go away. I mean, Spain literally in that game would not go away. I mean, we're talking about Spain with Morata, who scored that goal. When I look at that Morata goal, man, I'm like, where has this Morata been this whole time?
Yeah, my guy. I'll come back to that goal a bit later when we're talking about what to expect in the final. Because there's something about that goal that I think Italy are going to struggle with. If England come with that setup of running behind the Italy defense. Because the Italy defense is very slow. They're very, very slow, and I saw it with Morata. I mean, Morata made a run from just outside the third half of the field, and he made the run. You literally played a touch, ran through the defense.
That was a smart touch.
And the ball was played back into him. So I do think that is a point that Italy.
That is the weakness.
That's the weakness, and that's where England should be looking to possibly try and get advantage over Italy with.
Okay, I hear you. But let's talk about Denmark real second. Denmark versus England. We're talking about the semi-final here. England didn't score a goal in the 90 minutes.
You know what?
Why are you failing to acknowledge that?
You know what? I'm not. I think I should be acknowledged by the people, and this is why. I said England are going to struggle if they decide to go with the 4-2-3-1 formation. They did not respect Denmark the same way they respected Germany. I mean, Germany and Denmark play the same formation, right? The 3-4-3 formation. And I did say that it's very important that they match them for man in terms of that formation, how you line up. And they didn't do it, and that's why they struggled throughout the game. And we saw the brilliant goal that was scored by Damsgaard there for Denmark. You know, brilliant free kick. We'll talk about him in a few. But, you know, I just think England, this time around, just this one game, I felt Gareth Southgate might have almost got it wrong. I feel like he almost got it wrong. Had it not went to extra time, had they not got that fluke penalty which they got, I do think they would have not been where they are. Tactically, I would say I'd give Gareth Southgate a 9 throughout the whole tournament. You know, I'd give him a 9. Just this past game against Denmark, I thought he read it slightly wrong. He's just really lucky that he's got the quality of play.
Was it him or was it the curse? You know, the English curse. Semi-finals, that way they always stumble and fall. I thought to myself, look, when I looked at that game, I saw an England that was lacking in terms of penetration. I mean, they got there, they got to the goal, they got to the post, but the problem was they were getting there in the wrong position. I mean, you get a through ball on the right hand side, you're too far off the post, you know, should have straight against the goalkeeper. Sterling and them are making the wrong runs, and I feel like with England, that's their Achilles heel. Like, they get to this stage of tournaments, and once they get there, they lose everything that made them so great in the beginning of the tournament. They get to the semi-finals, whether it's the coach that got it wrong, whether it's the players, but at the end of the day, the chances they create are always difficult to score. I mean, you look at that whole 90 minutes, all the chances that England created were difficult to score.
I think England are that team. You're actually right. I mean, there's so many instances. Also in extra time as well, Raheem Sterling had a perfect chance. You know, he made a run instead of. There was a point where I thought he would have passed the player who was making a run, you know, making a blind run behind him. But he decided that he was going to go that way. You know, go out wide. And you're making mention of the fact that they get into the wrong position to finish. You know, and it really is going to happen. It was going to happen quite a lot with Denmark, because if you have this compact 3 men in that middle, I mean, you're talking about the 3 centre backs in there. It's going to be very hard for you to get in between them. It's very hard to get on the sides of them, because they've got the mailers, the Joaquin mailers, who are covering those wing back positions, you know. So it's a very difficult formation to play against if you're not trying to counter it with its own formation. So I do think that I'll maybe need to sit down and try and look at which formation can try crack a 3-4-3 formation. But at this point, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, this formation is a brilliant formation. It's very hard for teams to stop it. If you are finding it very hard to stop it, join them. Use that same formation. And I thought that's what Gareth Southgate.
You don't have the players for it.
No, Gareth Southgate has every player, my guy. I mean, you look at the Germany game. Look at the Germany game. You've got Rhys James on the right wing back position, my guy. You can use that guy in there. Instead of using him, they used Kyle Walker. They used Trippier on the. In fact, they used Trippier on the wing back position, and they used Kyle Walker in the right centre back position. So he's got the players to do it. That's why I'm saying that's probably his best formation. But he'd rather stick with the four at the back, which is also not quite too bad. Looking at the way they've managed to get themselves through to the point where they are now, I just feel like in the previous game, tactically, he almost got it wrong.
You'll remember me when I told you that the right man for the job.
It's Tony Pulis.
I'm telling you, boy. Like, we'll see. Let's go see this final against the two teams. So, do you have any predictions for this final?
My only prediction is the Azuri, my guy.
You think Italy's going to take it to Rome?
They're going
40 games unbeaten.
They're going with it, my guy. It's going to be very difficult for the fact that it's at Wembley. You know, it's happening at Wembley. But I do think that the Italians, they are a very conservative team. They don't rush anything. If nothing is going on for them, they're not shy to get it back to Jorginho and he'll move it sideways. You know, so it's one of those things where you're looking at how this game might pan out. I think both teams tactically, they could be at the top of their game. You know, but there's going to be a mistake that's going to lead to a win for Italy. I think it's going to take a mistake, and it might just be with Jordan Pickford. Wow.
That's what I'm also thinking of right now. I'm like, has Pickford ever won a tournament?
Pickford has never won a tournament. Pickford's from Sunderland. You got relegated, my guy.
You got relegated.
And then he signed with Everton.
See, that's the thing about England. I feel like at this point, we're looking at the makeup, we're like, oh, England is so pretty. But we haven't seen the cracks yet. And I think the cracks, first of all, in the defense, I know Maguire always has an error in him, especially in games this big.
He's been solid, though.
He's been solid, but even in the Europa League run to the finals, he was solid until the final where he cracked. We're talking about a Harry Kane that went to play Liverpool in the final, and then he cracked. A Sterling that went to the final with the Chelsea, and he cracked. I mean, do you know that if they win it tomorrow, then basically Jordan Henderson is the first player in English history to have won the Premier League, the Champions League, and the Euros. Back to back.
Back to back.
Let's say the lot. The only champion you have in the side is on the bench. You're talking
Yeah,
about a
it's tough.
Chiellini, Bonucci. These guys have been winning trophies like this. Going against guys that are like, you know, this is our first time we are here. Oh my goodness, we are shocked. Since the year 1966. If your parent was born in that year, your parent is thinking about retirement now.
But no-
That's how long it's been.
But no, imagine. I mean, I just read the news coming out of England that Boris Johnson is actually the prime minister. He's thinking of opening, you know, for all the fans to come in, because for the EPL season, next EPL season, all the
In
fans
August,
will be
yeah.
back. You know, be 100%. So I'm kind of wondering at this point, will they be trying to, you know, get more fans into that stadium? Because imagine a Wembley Stadium packed with English fans. A final, my guy. It could be very impossible for Italy to walk away with the win.
Those
But
fans are not playing in the pitch.
the fans might not be playing on the pitch, but you know how big a difference the fans make.
They do.
They make a
They
huge
do.
difference.
But what I'm saying is that team is possibly full of players that have not been able to cross that line, especially in European championships.
True.
So let's take a break. When we come back, we'll make our bets.
You are watching Super TV, Open View, channel 150. You are watching Super TV, Open View, channel 150.
Welcome back to Mo Sports. Now you're tuning to channel 150 on your Open View decoder. It's Super TV powered by Super Bets. Now if you don't have a decoder, you can always join us by Facebook or via YouTube. It's as easy as going on those platforms, searching for Super TV, finding us and streaming us live from anywhere. My name is Mo and this is OB.KNOWS, and as usual, we're talking all things football, including the Mo Riddle. Let's see it right now. Let's see what the Mo Riddle has in store for us. Well, he's a Brazilian international, made over 40 appearances for the national side, scored over 20 goals for them, and also won the Copa America, I almost said the Copa Libertadores, which he also won, and he also won the Confederations Cup here in South Africa. If you know who he is, the number is 0716214746. Let's see if you got your answer right. Let's start. If you know what I'm saying, a few people have submitted their answers. Let's see what they say. So the first one saying I think it's Ronaldinho. Hey, Shafet, there's no Paris Saint-Germain in there. There's no Barcelona in there. It cannot be him. It cannot be him. Although he did play for 2 South American clubs towards the end of his career. Pele, guys. It's Benito from PE. Hey, guys. Laila,
2010, guys.
2010 World Cup. Pele. But you know, I get them, dude. You know how I thought of this man. I remember I was watching the highlights from the Confederations Cup itself.
Yeah.
And I saw Luis Adriano there. I almost gave out to us. I saw this guy in the background there because Ronaldinho was there shaking some kid's hand with Kaká, and I was like, wait, Neymar was in South Africa, right? And I was like, oh, Neymar was here too. And then I saw, Neymar was here.
Really? Was he part of that squad?
Neymar was part of that. No, Neymar was part of the Confederation squad.
Yeah, I mean the Confederation squad.
Yeah, I think he was part of the Confederation Cup.
Really?
Was Ronaldinho part of the Confederations Cup or?
Ronaldinho was not part of the World Cup squad.
But he was in the Confederations, right?
I don't think he was. Ilano was playing. I remember Ilano.
So somewhere along the lines, there's a game where Kaká and Ronaldinho is there together.
I don't think Ronaldinho did come to South Africa.
Yeah, he didn't come, but there was a game when these two guys were together. And then I was like, wait, hold on, who's that dude in the back? Because he's already,
Yeah, that's when I knew you was Fabiano as well.
The trademark. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's the month. That's how we thought of this month. So if you have the answer, it's 071621474.
No, Ronaldinho did not come to South Africa.
You sure Ronaldinho didn't come to that?
I remember this front three very well. It was Ilano on the left, he used to play for Man City.
Yeah.
Robinho and Luis Fabiano up top.
Okay.
Kaká and Emerson, and I forgot who the other one is. Maybe Gilberto Silva as well.
Yeah.
I think it was.
No, it wasn't. Okay, let's move on because Obino is showing off his footballing skill. Let's go to the website. Let's go make our bets because it's time for us to put our money where our mouth is. Let's go, Obino. To the website we go. Just take it to the main page so we can make these bet slips. I want us to explore this thing called a price boost, everybody. So if you know what a price boost is, today you're going to learn. So there, you see, even there's the answer the more riddle. Trying to give you ideas there. Trying to give you ideas. I mean, at this point, Obino's even named the man there. But when you name in the front three, who do you name? Obino keeps giving away the answer. Wait, hold on, where you going? Go back to the top, Obino. Actually, wait, go down. I want to show you something. Go down. So we go back to soccer. I want to show people at home something. Go to soccer. Go all the way down and look for Azerbaijan.
It's not going to be at the top.
Is it not there?
Okay.
It's Austria. It's not there.
But why would they put Azerbaijan at the... You're looking for
Nah,
Uzbekistan?
it's not there. It's not there. But I tell you, there's a Brazilian player playing in Uzbekistan. I can bet you. Maybe there's even 4. Let's scroll down and let's go to the price boost there. Let's go see what's happening in the price boost.
This guy.
There it is under goal scorers, price boost. Hey, this goal scorer thing, it pushed me, boy. I said Firmino's going to score.
I told you, Firmino's going to score, boy.
Then there we are, this other home is scoring. So let's see, price boost. We just want to decide the result, okay? So let's scroll down and let's go look at it. Match flow. Do you think it'll be a draw? This tournament has been a tournament of penalties.
Penalties, yeah.
So don't you think there's going to go down to penalties at the end? Don't you think that Kane scores a goal, then Immobile scores 2, and then Sterling in the last minute gets a header, then chigi penalties?
To be honest, I'm not anticipating a lot of goals.
So 0-0 draw.
Nope. It's going to be a 1-0 win or a 2-1 win.
All right, scroll down, Obinos. 1-0 win to Italy, there it is. 6.5.
Definitely give it.
Yeah, let's give it to them. But hold
So,
on.
are these guys saying England... Okay. No.
England are favorites to win this thing. Just based on the fact that it's going home, not going to Rome.
And on top of the fact that they're playing at home.
Exactly. Now put the clipper on Italy. Let's see if we can make this money. Oh, 750.
That's not bad.
Just agree. Do me like that.
That is really not bad.
Press OK. Let's scroll down further. I just want to see something down there.
That's bad. Yazi. Yo.
Imagine the guy the guy was giving you advice and the guy's going, oh, I must bad. Yo. Scroll down, Rubino. Scroll down.
Wait, must see that this is a possibility.
Say Italy 2-0, just in case.
Italy 2-0.
Just in case. There it is. No, that's England 2-0, Obinos.
All right.
What are the England one? You don't want third one. And then it goes home, then people are like, those guys are more sports. Guys, it could possibly go home. So let's see how much it is. So let's put the website away. Let me just say this before we end the show. Guys, it can possibly go home. England have done well to this tournament so far, but don't forget Italy, 40 games plus unbeaten. That's a run that's unprecedented. But let me give you the answer to the more because clearly a lot of you don't know it. And funny enough, one of our viewers a couple of days ago when we were doing Luis Adriano. We were doing Adriano, he was Luis Adriano. So let's see who this one is.
It's different.
There's the answer. Luis Fabiano. That is the correct answer. Let's see the man he is talking about. You see, this man knows his football. He held it late. He was like, I'm going to end the show. He was like, Luis Fabiano. So funny enough, remember when that viewer was like, Luis Adriano? He said, this guy looks like Chris Brown, you know.
Boy, you don't see Chris... Please, can all the women who know Chris Brown look at this guy,
doesn't look like
and
Chris
tell
Brown.
me if this guy doesn't look like vintage Chris Brown?
It doesn't look like Chris
He looks like Chris Brown, this guy.
He looks like Brenton.
Bro, what?
Brenton, my homie from Eldos. He looks like that.
Talking about Brendan. This guy looks like Chris Brown. Guys, you need to a proper... You know what?
You're swag, boy. That trim caught you. It's fine. Let's forgive him. He knows he doesn't quite know Chris Brown the way he claims he does. Thank you for joining us today on Mo Sports. We'll see you again tomorrow, on Sunday, and on Monday because this weekend is going to be jam-packed. Thank you again for joining us.
are watching Supa TV, Open View, channel 150.
Coming together was just the beginning. And as Mzansi's first, Supa TV has continuously been your place of entertainment, inspiration, live gameplay fun, and of course, the most authentic moments to light up your TV screens.